In this episode of the Electric Samba Buzz, we're going to show you what 1,500 of these 18650 cells look like. Plus, we're going to go over the bittersweet realities of owning a custom electric classic car.
Arthur.
Plug it in here. Whoa, did you guys check out that intro? Man, yeah, here at, we decided to do, oh, by the way, this is Wayne here that is trying to get in the camera. He's trying to steal the spotlight here. Look at this guy. Anyways, I decided to actually clean up my YouTube channel. It was a mess there. There was a bunch of videos that I usually upload and stuff. And decided to make it a little bit easier for people to look through all these videos that I'm uploading every week now. I put them in order and stuff like that so that people that are coming into this, they find a way easier thing. So that's gonna be the intro for all these, and I'm gonna call this little series of videos the Electric Samba Project, because it's my Electric Samba Project. So I want to thank all the people that are starting to email me. I'm starting to get a bunch of emails. People either have suggestions, they have links either to products I can use, or to links of other people that are doing similar stuff, or I can find info on these batteries or how to put battery packs together. I want to take the opportunity and thank every one of them. So thank you, all the viewers, all the EVTV viewers. Highly appreciate that. All right, let's talk about the Samba. It's pretty ugly in California these last couple days. It's like raining. Us Californians, we don't like rain, so I'm kind of stuck inside for this week, and so I'm kind of forced to just talk about the batteries. I had about 20 of them left, and I decided to make a time lapse of the last 20 to open them, crack them open. It turns out opening and getting them out of these plastic packages they're in, it's gonna turn out to be the easy part of this thing, because I'm done. And usually all I would do is just kind of sit after, here after work, or on the weekends and stuff, and so I'm watching TV, and I just kind of don't even think about it, just start doing it, and I'm done. I have all these turn out I have 1,600 cells. I'm not going to be able to use them all because there's a small number of them that are different. Most of them, like I said, most of them are the Sanyo model number UR18650FM, which was rated at 2,600 milliamps when it was new. And I haven't been able to find an updated spec sheet on those. I'm going to keep looking. I think there's probably like a newer spec sheet. So there's also Panasonic CGR 18650Es. Wait, E's? Yeah. Those, I'm reading the spec sheets on those, and it turns out those are better batteries, I think, than the Sanyos. I think there's slightly different chemistry, but it turns out there's only about 10% of the battery packs that I was opening up that had those. So it turns out I only have about 130 of those cells, and I'm hoping to get a few more of those in so that I could at least make one pack. Here's a plan that I'm gonna do with this pack. I plan on bundling them or paralleling 154 cells. Let's see, let's do some math here. So 154 cells. Let's just say that these cells are gonna come in at 2.4 amps, so 2,400 milliamps, right? 2.4 amps times 154, that's 369.6, so 370 amp hours parallel pack or module. 370 times the voltage, which I'm gonna have 30 of these packs, so that's the plan. The nominal 3.7 volts makes it 111 volts. So that equals 40.6 kilowatts, which is what my Samba needs to get a 100-mile range. That means that I am going to need 154 times 30. And that equals to 4,620. So I only have about 1,600 cells, which, you know, it's a little bit less than 1/3 of the cells. I think at 1/3, I'd be able to put 10 of the 30 needed cells for my battery pack. And so the spec sheet shows that these batteries, the maximum discharge rate at 2C. That would be, let me see, so if they're 2,400, I don't know if it's what, 2Cs would be from the initial capacity, which is 2.6, right, amps, or the current capacity. So maybe someone can help me and figure that out, if it's if 2C is 5.2 amps or 4.8. So either way, my system, which is the Curtis controller, only pulls a maximum of 650 amps, right? 154 cells times, let's say that all my batteries turn out to be 2.4 amps. Then it's 370 amps. 2C, right, would be 739 or 740 amps. So I'm gonna be below the 2 amp or 2C maximum discharge rate rated on, for these cells. In reality, now that I'm driving my bus around, I hardly ever see 650 amps. Last time I did that, I was going uphill and I was really just gunning it, just try to see how fast I can go up the hill. Most of the time going down the freeway, it pulls a pretty continuous 200 amps. So 200 amps, it's well beyond, well below the maximum. And I think that they won't be damaged. I think we're only gonna see even close to 2Cs just for a few seconds on hard acceleration most of the time. So they're looking good in that aspect. So let's look at how we're going to package these things. Today I just started looking at what Tesla does, and I've heard a bunch of people say that they have the tiny little wires at the end of each cell, and then they have their space. You hear Elon talk about that stuff, that you have to space these batteries apart so that you don't create all that heat. And I never knew why people were saying that. I hadn't seen the pictures and stuff until today. I went to one of the forums where someone posted pictures of the battery packs, and I could see now how they're spaced apart, and they all have the some aluminum water channel or kind of cooling thing that goes through each and every cell, and that's how they're cooling down these cells, and also how they have a little wire. So I'm not gonna be driving a Model S, so that doesn't necessarily transfer over to my battery pack. My energy requirements off of this pack, it's gonna be a lot less than the Model S. I'm not gonna be driving around with a motor that pulls 464 foot-pounds of torque. I don't know what that translates in amps. Their battery pack, it's a higher voltage pack. So there's a bunch of differences between my system and their system and my power requirements of the cell. So I am going to be doing some tests as to figure out how much these batteries are heating up in regular use. So what I plan to do is make one module and then just tap it into my system and drive it around, do some tests and see in average normal use what the temperature is on these cells, so that I can figure out if I do have to space them and if I do have to put something that is touching, like a large area of each cell, or if I can just do what my intentional plan was just to actually have the anode and the cathode of these 154 battery cells, packs or bundles or modules, be a chill plate. So then that way it'll just be, it'll just be touching the ends of these cells, and maybe that's going to be enough cooling for my power requirements, and we're going to get to test that. So that's the plan for this, guys. Today we're going to take the electric Samba down to Mentone, California. It's about a 30-mile drive down to the heartland of the Inland Empire. And it's just out of reach of my 50-mile range. So we're going to try and charge while we're there and then come back, and hopefully we can make it. Last time we tried this, it did make it. So this time we have a bigger cable, and we're hoping that we can recharge enough to be able to make it back on its own power. Siri says it's not gonna rain today, so we're gonna take the Samba even though it's freezing and it doesn't have any of the windows still. So here's nothing.
What are you doing?
Just in case.
What? Just in case what?
Been there, done that.
Probably got it.
That cold, so it's good.
No, well, if you got that beanie, I guess. Helps you out.
I guess I need a bigger battery, because
Why?
Because I can't like be driving, have my lights on, and then have the radio on.
Oh, it won't. Why? It'll drain it
I
too
don't know
fast?
if you saw, maybe the lights were like flickering down every time, like.
Really?
Yeah.
I wasn't paying attention.
Every time. Watch. I'll show you here.
How do you charge it over here?
There's so where we're going, there's a there's like an RV park thing, and it has plugs everywhere. So you can plug in your RV.
Cool.
So
it's free. Or you gotta pay someone money.
No, yeah, it's free. Yeah,
Yeah, it's free.
Last time I just plugged in and it worked. So.
Nice.
But I don't know if it's gonna charge fast enough. Oh, all I need is like 30 amps. It's exactly how much I put in last time.
Yeah.
So no, I'm gonna be able to put more, because we're gonna be here a little bit longer.
Yeah.
And I have a different connector that can output more, and I have the cooling system now that can output more.
Okay.
But I could only put in 1.5 kilowatts per hour.
1.5 kilowatts. Is that the limit?
All right, so we made it. We went to Mentone, and we charged a little bit up there. And while we were on our way back, I figured it took us about 100 amp hours to get there. So I'd figure I'd had to charge and put back till the battery pack had 100 amp hours to come back. So we got on the freeway, and we were coming all the way around 60 miles an hour. And the amp counter went from 100 amps all the way down to 0. and around 0 we were still about 10 miles away from home. At which point, then I'm checking the voltage, because I know that the voltage, and my pack is sagging. It sags more towards the end of its charge, but it was sagging to about 90, about 95 volts or something like that. Just 96, 97, somewhere around 95, 100 volts. So I knew my pack still had some more in there. I pulled off of the freeway where I was pulling, a pretty constant 200 amps for the pack, just to kind of let the pack breathe a little bit. And as soon as I pulled up into the first stop, it bounced right back to above 105 volts or so. So I knew my battery still had some, a few more miles in it, and I would probably get home. At that point, then something kind of surprising happened. The amp counter went from 0 back up to 180, which is, kind of funny. I would think it would just go into negative amps or something. I was surprised that it went back up to 180. I wasn't surprised that the car would still keep going, because I kind of knew that my pack had a little bit more than 180 amps, which is rated capacity of the pack. So we made it home. I just pulled up to my driveway, and the amp hour counter it has 168. So that means we went a further 12 amp hours, right? Yeah. So let's see. That's so 70. No, that's 30. Yeah, that's 32 amps. Wow, we drew an extra 32 amp hours from my pack, and my voltage right now resting, it's 100 volts, which if you divide that by 37 cells, my cells are resting at 2.7 volts. My battery pack is pretty much done. I mean, it's empty. I probably couldn't get another 2-3 miles off of this pack, so I'm home. I will be able to charge the pack, put it on right now on the charger, and the charger will keep track of the amp hours it's putting into the pack, and that's going to give me an accurate reading of exactly how many amps go into this pack. At which point, I think I'm going to have to input that into the dashboard system, so that it gives me a more accurate reading, and I don't reach 0 with 30 amps still going, before my battery's done. It was just something surprising. I didn't expect that, and yeah, it's something for keep out there. All the everybody that's using the Electric Motor Works dashboard app. I think I don't know. I think it should go into negative amperage once it reaches 0. But that's just me, I guess. All right, we're home. That's the important thing. So this is the update for this week. I hope everyone else is having fun with their builds, and I hope they all submit videos so that we can all kind of learn from each other and stuff. And I want to thank Jack for giving me the opportunity to have an audience with you guys, and just kind of talk nonsense and stuff about my crazy ideas. All right, guys, so have a good rest of the week. We'll see you next week. Bye.
We almost lost our wheel right here.